Hey everyone, welcome back to Mutiny Kitchen at Mutiny Ranch. I'm Lynn and I'm going to show you another recipe that you can make in your bread machine. One thing I did want to mention, I will link to the one that I personally have, but they are almost always at your thrift stores. We get so many at our thrift stores here in our tiny town that they often go on half price. So for just a couple bucks, you might be able to pick up a bread machine, and I do say that's probably a smart thing to check out first, especially if you're not sure you're really going to stick with um, using it, or you just want to have it as a backup means of making things in situations like this, which hopefully won't happen very often. With that being said, let's just get going. So first thing I'm going to do, I took out my bread machine insert here. I made sure my um, whatever that thing's called, the little turny thing is in there. Trust me, I have left it out plenty of times, and then your stuff doesn't get mixed. So make sure that blade's in there. We're going to start with a cup and a half of broth, and I'm using a chicken-free broth or like a vegan type broth. That's in a cube form. I just mixed it with cold water. So this is not chicken. Of course, if you're not vegetarian, you can use any kind of chicken, but then again, you'd probably be eating chicken and not seitan. But to that, well, let's do all of our liquids. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And that's the oil I have on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. And then we're going to do a cup and a half of vital wheat gluten. And this is the one I got. And just to let you know, I ordered this 2 days ago, I think. Oh, whoa, sorry about that. This is the one I got. It's a 4-pound package. I ordered it 2 days ago on Amazon, and it got here really fast. So it is still in stock. So we're going to add a cup and a half of vital wheat gluten. It's just going to go right on top of your liquids. And then also, to add some texture, I'm going to add some garbanzo bean flour. And since you guys know that I'm cheap or thrifty, I actually make my own by grinding the whole garbanzo beans. Again, I ordered this 2 days ago. Just came in today. 4 pounds of garbanzo beans because I didn't have any on hand. But anyway, I just grind them in my Vitamix and make my own flour. So that's always an option. You don't have to buy special garbanzo bean flour, especially right now if you can't find it. We're going to add 1/3 of a cup of the flour, garbanzo bean flour. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. It should turn out fine without it. And then also 1/3 of a cup of nutritional yeast. And I buy this also in bulk. A lot of vegetarians and vegans, I would think, would have this on hand. It's not yeast like you would buy in the bread section. This is a flake kind of yeast that is kind of a nice vitamin B supplement, adds a cheesy, nutty texture or flavor to a lot of vegetarian cooking. So it can be used as like a substitute for Parmesan cheese on top of noodles and stuff. So that's our nutritional yeast. And then to this is where it can kind of get fun. You can add whatever spices you like. Since I'm kind of doing a chicken flavored seitan, I'm going to add poultry seasoning. I'm going to add a teaspoon and a half of the poultry seasoning. You could add what you want. If you want this to be more of a like a sausage tasting thing, you could add sage, garlic. I'm actually going to add a little bit of smoked paprika. Let's do half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I just like that smoky flavor. I have dehydrated garlic, so I think I was gonna grind some in my little GP coffee grinder from the thrift store, but I think what I'll use instead is it's called hing, asafoetida. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Uh, Found at Indian food restaurants, or I'm sorry, Indian food stores. It's a replacement for onions and garlic. So this normally I would use onion powder and garlic powder, but I don't have onion powder, and like I said, I only have this dehydrated garlic. So rather than grind it, I'm just going to use the hing. But hopefully you guys realize that you can just use what you have on hand that you like. And I'll try to get about a teaspoon in there of the hing. And let's see, I do like cumin. And again, I only have it in the seed. I have a big bulk supply my friends Beth and Taylor brought me when they visited this past year. So I'm just going to take my teaspoon and grind it real quick in my coffee grinder. And I'll just dump that right in there. So that is it that I'm going to put into the actual kind of doughy part that makes up the seitan. The little container is going to go slide right inside. Yours may twist in to lock in. Close the lid there, and then you'll see we'll select for mine, it's menu item number 9. So the dough, it's set to go for 1 hour and 30 minutes. It's not going to need that much time, but I just want the setting. So it's just going to mix the dough up, so it won't necessarily heat it up or cook it or anything like that, like a bread. So I just want it to be mixed up. So here's our dough after 6 minutes of kneading by the machine. So if necessary, you can use a scraper and scrape down anything from the sides just to make sure it's all incorporated. So this is our seitan dough straight out of the bread machine, and we're going to divide this up. So what you can do is make this into little bite-sized pieces. So you could cut it or just pull little sections off to make kind of little nugget sizes. Or you can just like cut it in half to make 2 little loaves. So it's your choice. If you like the little nugget pieces for whatever it is you're going to cook, you could do that, or you could shape these into loaves, and then after they're cooked you can kind of slice them easier for like sandwich, kind of like a replacement for sandwich meat. Just know these are going to expand as they cook, so if you are making little pieces, you might want to err on the side of a smaller piece. So just completely up to you on what you want to do there. So I'm using my Instant Pot. I figure if I'm going to have these appliances, they should work for me. So I'm just going to place my little nuggets right into the bottom of the Instant Pot. And to that, I'm just going to add some water. So not a whole lot. Doesn't need to cover the nuggets or the seitan if you're even just going to use it in a loaf form. So about a cup, that's probably plenty. So let's see if you can see that. So adding some water, and then I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce. The store was out of Bragg's liquid aminos, so I had to get just regular old soy sauce. You use what you got. And you could use more broth. Just know that when this cooks in here, there's potential of it becoming pretty salty, so, or spicy, so just depending on what you're using. Sorry, Nellie's going nuts. So just a little bit of soy sauce, and then I'm going to place the lid on there. And this is going to be set to seal. And I'm going to cook it on manual for 16 minutes. And it's just like a larger version of the nugget. Then for sandwiches, do all kinds of things with that. So just a couple different ways that you can cook that in your Instant Pot, different shapes, give you different results. But nice meat substitutes. And something that's shelf stable. This Vital Wheat gluten is shelf stable, so you can just store that for when you need it.